Morning and welcome. You are with the Skeinz Diaries. Today is Monday, the 28th of August. This is episode 272. I am Marie, and crazy. Knit August Nights has just completed. Just wound up yesterday. I was a bit late because we've got a shop full of people who've been coming through after the weekend away, doing one last gasp of shopping before they head home. And part of the reason for that is we deliberately keep the can sale going on a Monday so people can actually do some shopping after they've finished the event before they head back to places far flung. And this year I had people come. I actually had a number of Australians over. We had mother and daughter combo over Australia and the UK, and it was rather international. Good morning, everybody. So good to see you. Welcome along. Come on in. So it's been a huge weekend. I'm a little bit cough because honestly, I have talked all weekend, but I did actually manage, after the market yesterday and everything packed up, I did manage to go home, sit down and put my feet up for a few hours, Ethan and I, because he was staying with me, and we all sat there, himself, me, Kathy, Ethan and I were in our gym jams, dogs everywhere. It was a thing. But it was good just to sort of kick back and relax. So I actually have got I did finally get to do some knitting, as I said yesterday afternoon. Did barely none at the event. That's quite usual for me. I did actually do a little bit of shopping. I sort of go in fits and starts with shopping. Some years I shop heaps, other years I don't. Oh, and I forgot to show you one of the other things I bought because it's sitting on my desk. But I did do a little bit of shopping, so I'm going to show you that. And the big thing too is to let you know about the last day of the sale today. Just whipped the newsletter out. Incognito, that incognito merino that you guys went gaga over. I have got a little bit left, about sort of part cartons left. Not enough to put online, I'm afraid, but it is in the shop. So if you are local, you are hearing this, you are wanting to think, ooh, I want to get myself a little bit more of that merino, or I've missed out and I want to grab some, get your skates on and get across here today, because it's in the shop now and you will be able to grab that. So do make sure you do that. And for those that haven't had a chance to see it, as you can see, I'm wearing the poncho. So I'm just going to stand up for a second because I have, as you can see here, actually I'll hold this up. So there's, thank you so, all McCann ladies are here. Hello, thank you so much that you enjoyed. I'm really glad you enjoyed it because I enjoyed it. Okay, the poncho. So this is the poncho which I am going to get written up. I promised too many people over the weekend that I will. I've selected two lots of yarn that I'm going to knit up another couple of these. I need to play around actually with the gauge and the length because I fiddled around with it on all my other samples, and I just want to get it completely nailed. I'm pretty much there, and what I'll probably end up doing is putting out the draft first, and then there may be, it's a poncho, so it doesn't need too much sizing. But at the moment, this one that I'm wearing is very much big, tall Marie sizing, and I appreciate that not everybody is big, tall Marie sizing, so I'm going to sort of pull it back a little bit for everyone. What I did do is, for those that didn't know, I wanted to include this gorgeous art yarn, and I'm sorry the lighting is so bad in here today, this gorgeous art yarn, which I got from Annette Montgomery from Twisted Sisters. So I did this to incorporate it, completely forgetting, because I'm left-right dyslexic, that I actually put this on the side that would actually be at the back, because I like to wear the short seam on a poncho on my right shoulder because I'm right-handed. But no worries, because I suddenly thought, well, I'll just rouge the shoulder and through that portion in the shoulder there, which will leave this nice and straight, lift this back to bracelet length, which is where I wanted it to be, and it would be fine. So I'm going to stand up and show you how it looks. We're doing the big scrapey of the chair. So there you go. So it still sits just fine. So when I'm not holding my arms out, nice and centered, sits beautifully, and then there she is. There she blows. And I like these coming down to, I could make this long. Now, to be fair, I could have actually made this wider and longer. And in the final pattern release, I probably will. I'll have it designed probably to come down to about here, about sort of another 10 centimetres on that. Main reason I didn't is I ran out of time. But not that mattered. I mean, it is still just fine. But in the final pattern that I release, I'll probably have a wee bit more length there to do that with. The ruching. I'll just show you what I did with the ruching. See if I can do it without actually whipping this off over my head. Oh, yes, I can. Look, you can see it there. Oh, the light's pretty bad. So all I've done for the ruching is I've just gone and double-stranded some yarn. There it is there. And then just gone through every second loop in the back of I had 2 yarns, and I sort of went through the back of the loop of one, left a row, 2 rows, and then went through the back of the loops of just the little loops, and 2 rows down. So it would have actually been 4 rows down. So there was a little bit of a gap. Can you see that little bit of a gap there? And then because it's double-stranded, I just literally have just tugged. And I've left that there because I can then release the ruching or pulling the ruching up. So it's, that's all I have done to do that. And I can, pull this up. And I stopped it. I didn't want the ruching on the shoulder. I wanted the shoulder smooth. I just wanted it in that little portion there. And yeah, did that actually literally while I was sitting at the event on, when did I do that? Sunday morning, I think. Just whip that up. So it's an easy thing to do. So I'm really, really thrilled with how it went. So if you have a chance to get into the last day of the sale here today, we'd love to see you. We've been super busy already this morning. So as I said, the incognito we've only got here in store. Online, however, Kelly & Co, there's still plenty of colours available. I think we're sold out of a couple now, but we have still got good stocks of many of the others. So this is your last chance to get our beautiful Kelly & Co for half price. And as you know, I've got a few projects I've done in that. There is the Cascade. There's still loads of gorgeous colours with the Cascade. If you've got an absolute inkling and hammering and desire to do some colour work, Cascade is going to be your friend. Definitely get that. That's at half price as well. That's only $9.95. Actually slightly less than half price. Tons of that available. The other one that I've pulled out that has sort of been a bit forgotten because of the other yarns is the Pearl Luster. Pearl Luster is gorgeous. And if you're wanting to get some summer knitting done, whether it be summer shawls or beautiful lightweight summer cardigans or a lovely summer top, this is your friend. We've got a ranunculus knitted in this, and it's amazing. You can do any of those lighter weight tops. This is premium Suri alpaca with organic merino. We've got the brights available, and all the brights are still available for half price. There's 225 meters on one of these suckers, and each one of the brights, and this is why I wanted to pull these out, each one of the brights has their own Whisper Fine partner. Now, the good news about them all having their own Whisper Fine partner is that they're almost actually ball for ball. So the Whisper Fine is 227 meters, these are 225. So two of these together gives you a DK. So $12.95 for the Whisper. You've got $4.47 for this. So you're looking at $15, but that $15 gives you the equivalent of 2 balls of regular DK, more than, in fact, because you're getting whatever the two are combined, you're getting that meterage. So in this case, 225 meters with that double stranding, which is like more than 2 balls of DK. So if you're wanting to do a DK pattern, add a bit of fluff, you're essentially paying for a mohair, a premium mohair alpaca combo in DK, stunning, $7.50. I know, right? There's knit maths. That's knit maths, people. Knit maths. So this is if you've been doing a hankering to get some double stranded done, if you've been looking at those love notes, you've been thinking ranunculus, chikas would look incredible in this with a double strand. Any of those petite knit patterns, if you anything like that, this is now the time to get these while they're at that price. It really is incredible. And also the shawls too. There's all those incredible shawl patterns. Libby does those amazing shawl patterns. Drama Queen totally comes to mind because she's got a little bit of mohair action in there. Amazing. With these bright colours, if you're looking at these bright colours, dive into the West Knits collection, see what's in there. Have a look in your library. Is there something there you're thinking, oh, I really want to do that, but the cost was just a bit much? Now you can afford to do it. So don't forget this Pearl Luster. Honestly, if you're able to, if you need to get, I would be getting it in stash, to be quite honest with you, because it is just such a good buy. So those are all there. What else is still there? There's still a little bit of cozy floating around, pretty much no snug. Don't panic though, snug will be returning. But there is still a little bit of cozy left at half price on that 4-ply weight. The blankets. If you've got a special occasion coming up, you've got a wedding, a birthday, Father's Day, actually, it's next weekend, isn't it? I think it's next weekend. Or Christmas, get a jump start on your Christmas shopping. We've got 2 colours of blankets plus 2 sizes, knee rug size and throw rug size. They're all brushed. The Argenti, which is the light silver colour, that is kid mohair predominant, kid mohair alpaca predominant, and then the Carboni, which is the beautiful rich deep charcoals the other way around, is brushed alpaca predominant. So it's got just a little bit more density, the Carboni, because of the brushed alpaca, kid mohair. And they're all half price. The yarn has all been spun by us, and it's all been woven by our weaving partner in the Wairarapa. So it is local as local can be. Oh, hi, Heather. How are you? What ply is the Pearl Luster? I have some 4-ply here, and I want to double strand it to get a DK. I was thinking Whisper Fine, but would Pearl Luster work instead? Yeah, Pearl, if you've got a 4-ply there, yeah, the Pearl Luster probably would actually, because it's technically a 3-ply. So it's actually a wee bit lighter, a wee bit finer. So actually on a double strand, you would get to a DK with that for sure. In a shawl, so this is actually pretty much, it's just a weenie, but it's pretty much like an American fingering weight. It's slightly finer than that, and it's just utterly gorgeous, totally gorgeous. It's a 4-ply yak from a while ago. Oh, our 4-ply yak. So if it's the one that I'm thinking of, yeah, you would actually, because that was quite fine too. Yeah, you would. You'd get a DK. You could probably even stretch it out to a worsted if you wanted to. Of course, the golden rule with that, Heather, is swatch. Grab it in and just run it over the needles, see how you like it, give it a wash, check your gauge, do all that good stuff. But yeah, it'll be within Koei for sure. For sure. So great stuff. Now I'll show you what I've got on the needles and what I bought before I go and salvage poor old Cheryl, who's holding down the fort out there. So as I mentioned, I did manage. Is Philip? Paul? Hi, Pauline. I know it says Philip, but I know it's Pauline. Is Snug 8-ply still on sale? It is, but I don't know whether we've got. If you can't see it online, it means it's sold out. I know that I literally only have a few balls of red in the shop, and that's it. It's all gone. I know, fast. Here's just speaking of double stranding, because I had someone ask me this question the other day. The Cozy, which is still on sale, we do still have some of that left. Cozy, if you double strand Cozy, you get a 12-ply, like Southland Bulky. There you go. Bet you didn't know that. Coconut ice. That is the coconut ice is coming. It is working. It's actually you're the second person that asked me about coconut ice today. Coconut ice is literally working through the mill as we speak, but it won't make it in time for the sale. But it will be arriving with hopefully it will go through balling next week. Is the plan. The last ETA I saw on it was about 4th of September from the mill, so it is coming, which is great news because it's been missed. Right, I did manage to do some knitting. And as you can see, I've got these straight weapons. I got given these as a birthday gift from my mother-in-law, and they are Knit Pro carbons, and we don't sell the carbons here. But I thought, actually, I'll dust these off because, as you can see, no prizes at guessing at what I'm knitting. Niada, shocker. I thought to myself, well, I'll actually do this on this. These are nice long 35 centimetre straights, and which means that I can do a good chunk. In fact, I probably could do most of this project on here. But I thought, well, I'll do a good chunk of it because I just want to test drive them. I mean, I've never knitted with them before. And sometimes it's nice to sort of drive a new car, drive a new needle. So I thought I'd give them a go. So we've got carbon fiber shafts with, I think these are nickel tips. I mean, they're quite serious weapons. They're fabulous. I do quite like them. Rather fond. To knit with, they're fabulous. And they are part of the reason we haven't stocked them is that they're spendy. They're quite spendy. I think the straights retail for $20-ish. And the tips, I'm a bit torn. I am sort of potentially thinking about getting them in. I have to say though, they are lovely to knit with. Really, really lovely. So I can see why they're spendy. But they're very, very nice. So that's what I've been knitting with. And of course I cast on a Niara. And I know what you're thinking, Marie, you are so boring. Yes, I am. I am boring. But I always like to have a Niara on the go, or a Niara or a hitchhiker, or just a very plain shawl. Sometimes it's my ever after cowl. And the reason I have them is I have the patterns memorized in the noggin. I don't have to refer to a pattern. I just know what they are and I can knit them. And I often end up knitting them to give away to gift. This is one. So I cast this. So this is what I've managed to get done over the weekend, most of which was yesterday. Look at that pooling. Look at that colour pooling. Isn't it gorgeous? Now, this yarn is our Orb Fine base, and I'm actually knitting it on a 4mm needle. I think the pattern from memory is actually written for a DK, and I think she has it on a 4.5. I do what I feel like. Anyway, look at that. When I bought the yarn, and I bought it offhand, I only bought a single skein of it, and I bought it, and to me, I looked at it, and it just said Starry, Starry Night. Does that not look like Starry, Starry Night by Vincent van Gogh? Even in the colour pooling, even makes it look more like Starry, Starry Night. I was kind of excited by that. So there's the yarn there. So that's it there. So that's on, I think it was, how many meters? Whatever. It's only going to be a small shawl. And in fact, I may even end up seaming some ends and turning it into a cowl, depending on how much I had. But I only had the one. And this is, of course, knitted by the fabulous Sue Goodley, who is one of our local dyers here based in Mahia, which is between here and Gisborne, the peninsula where the rockets go off. And it's just gorgeous. So I've had this in stash, or I bought this in February and had it wound off to do it. And then I just never got a chance to cast it on. So it's taken me more than 6 months to get that cast on. So I'm happy I've got that, because it now means I've got something quite nice and portable. And I've test driven those needles, which I've loved and really enjoyed. And we may consider potentially getting some of those in, maybe in the Christmas indie, and see how they go. But I also, speaking of Sue, did do a little shopping. So it's the funny thing with me, Sue, and markets. Vicky's saying you've got a couple of the circulars and they're nice to use. Yeah, that's good to know. And what's this? Oh gosh, what's the? Okay, Suzanne's just saying the speech to text is hysterical again this morning. And I know that the speech to text with my broad New Zealand accent is a thing. It's saying that my carbons is translating to car bombs. So it's funny when I said before, these are a bit like a new weapon. Oh my gosh. If I tell you what, if there are like funny people scouring the internet, this will probably get flagged or something crazy. This is so funny. I think somewhere someone said that knitters were domestic terrorists, but there you go. We knew that. We all know how dangerous and rabid we are, don't we? We do. Anywho, so me and Sue. So I always have this funny thing with Sue. She has markets and she always lays the table out. She has all her yarn on a table, wherever she is. And I will often go past, and there's generally 2 or 3 colours that just will leap off the table at me. Like they'll speak to me. And the trouble I've got is I need yarn like a hole in the head. I mean, when do I need new yarn? I struggle enough to just knit up the yarns that we produce here, and between the samples and the swatching. I mean, I've got 3 new yarns out there that I've got to get on a swatch and test, and I haven't even done that. Yeah, the thing, honestly, I'm hopeless, totally hopeless. Anywho, So Sue's table, and I've had this before. So the Rebel, if you've been following me, you will remember my Rebel was knit from Sue's yarn. That was exactly that. She did a wee pop-up here at Skeinz a few years back, and she had this yarn on the table, and I just thought it was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. And I was stunned that no one bought it. And I said to myself, well, if no one buys that yarn, it is mine. And of course, no one did. And the same thing. For me, I did the same thing. So I went to have a look at the yarn market, and she had this yarn there. And as soon as I saw it, I went, oh, it's so funny. It was so funny. Anyway, I did go in and buy it on Sunday before someone bought it because I couldn't. It stayed there for 2 whole days. And then finally I was like, no, I have to have it because I just love it. The colors are very me. They're a mixture of, and you're going to see them, they're a mixture of my autumn tonings, which you know that I love, but then also bright blues and aquas, which you also know that I love. And there it is in a perfect little marriage. Look at that. And it's called, what's it called, Sue? It's called, has it got a name? No, she just called it 81, I think. Oh, is it 81? Yes, number 81. There it is. Isn't it gorgeous? And I think he had a 4-ply version of this, and I saw someone had bought that. Was it Delene? I think it was funny. She ended up buying the 4-ply version. I just loved it. And so I bought 5. She had 5 skeins of these, so I bought all 5. And I thought these would be perfect. 5 should be enough by the time I readjust my sizing on this, knowing what this took. 5 should be enough for me, I'm hoping, for me to knit this, reknit this, which I'm going to do, and just resize it. And I think, and just in the one color on that print, and I think this will look absolutely expletive, coming shit hot. I really do. And it will just go with heaps. And these are, for me, a really happy, summery, bright colors. And a poncho like this is perfect for, in summer weather. Sometimes you just, or transitional time, you just need something to flick over your shoulders with a breeze or anything that kicks up, and a poncho is perfect. So that's what I'm looking at doing. So I've got 5 skeins of those. So that's those there. Very super excited about that. And the other thing that leapt out, the fabulous Rachel and Bruce were there from Goodwill Hunting, and they have got fibre spates. And I have to admit, I love their Vivacious 4-ply. I actually do have some of this in stash in that colour at home. But they had that. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? So that's sort of their version. They do these. Actually, I was talking to Ethan. He was telling me he's been to their dye house and he's seen them do this style of yarn. And they do it actually sort of in a slightly different, the same but different way. It's a fast strike, and it's the same but different way that we do our dip dyes here. So we do the dip dyes using our current setup. They do it the same concept, but actually, funnily enough, using catering equipment. And they're set up in an old commercial kitchen. And Ethan was telling me about it last night. It was fascinating. He's going to join me on Thursday, by the way. The only reason he's not here is he's literally physically on a plane flying back. So him and I are going to have a big debrief Thursday. I fell in love with these. So they only had 5 of these, and I bought all 5 because I thought, right, this is cardigan or sweater. There's a couple of patterns of Libby's that I'm tossing around and fingering weight, which I think these will be perfect for, and just a lovely lightweight cardigan. I wanted to get the 5 because I think I might just do something a little bit longer, a weenie bit longer, like sort of quite free flowy, lots of these sort of for the summer, just quite, easy to wear. So I'm really, really delighted with that. And so I've got 5 of those too. Whether, of course, I get anything out like this in the summer is yet to be determined, but this is me. One is allowed to, do that. Sue's saying, one of her carbons is disintegrated where it joins at the tip. And the tips have discoloured. Interesting. So, I'll see how I go with these. So far, so good. But that's good to know because I haven't bought them in yet. So there we go. But that's what I did for my shopping. Oh, gosh, I was so tempted. Of course, Ethan had all his spin cycle on the hedgehog. It's just too much gorgeousness. But I have got a a Get Flock project bag, as well as there was lots of other interesting bits. What else was there? I had to restrain myself from mohair and spinning fibre from the fabulous Lynn Walsh at Fibre to Go. If you're looking for a little bit of fluff and you're wanting to get some beautiful hand-dyed mohairs to actually mix with something special. So actually, again, this is where these brights come in. You can, if you're wanting to get a hand-dyed mohair to sort of add just the subtle little twists and turns of colour, I have to say Lynn had some beautiful mohairs, absolutely stunning mohairs. So you should check her out for Fibre to Go. That was definitely worth checking out. And the one thing I haven't grabbed from out there to bring in and show you is I did buy a new keep cup from Ray Webb at Dolliston Shed, and she's got I know Heather bought a blocking board off her, and as Heather does lots of crochet squares and stuff, and she's got these brilliant blocking boards. But these cups, okay, again, expletives coming. It says it's etched. It's stainless steel, and it's etched on the cup. It says, "Please keep the dumb fuckery down to a minimum today, please." It is a very me cup. Very, very makeup. And Rachel too, Rachel and Bruce at Goodwill Hunting had some pretty awesome cups as well. Do have a look at the Knit August Nights. And I shared it too with Skeinz, lots of the photos from the weekend. It really was wonderful. If you think, oh, you fancy a bit of Knit August Nights action, it is next year. It's going to be 22, 23, 24, 25 next year, August. So it's the last full weekend in August. So that's the weekend. So we'll do masterclasses on the Thursday, and then we'll have it kicks off in its entirety Friday, Saturday, with market day on Sunday. So if you fancy sneaking away for a wee weekend, it will be wonderful. And tickets will be limited because I now just do it all in the one venue, which the feedback from everybody over the weekend was overwhelming. They love the smaller size. They love just having it in the one venue and not having to run around and try and find where they need to be with classes. They love the fact that the venue is right on the water and the beach. We had a seal. Apparently a baby seal came to visit up on the beach, so that was creating lots of excitement. And then the marathon, then we had the marathon on Saturday morning. So in classes, it was the funniest thing. I went around to take photos, and we were, the hotel where we were is on a thing called Perfume Point in Ahuriri. And the marathon, that was where they had a refreshment stop, was right outside the hotel. And it wasn't like alcoholic beverages, it was like watery beverages. And you're in the classes. Well, particularly in the early pack that came through, there was some quite nice scenery. And I walked in, and at one point there was a group of runners that came past, and we were at the halfway point, so 25 Ks to go is where we were. And so they were all just glistening past, and there was lots of people in the classes going. It was quite cute. It was really, really fun. So that was exciting. So we had the marathon. So it was great. And the weather was perfect. In fact, the weather was so perfect that it decided not to rain and get grey and gloomy until after everything wound up at midday. Don't you love that? It was great. Right, I'm going to stop talking because I need to finish up a couple of things and relieve our wonderful Cheryl, because I'm going to be in the shop this afternoon, so she can get onto all her emails and bits and pieces. So as I said, today is the last day for that sale. So if you want to get on that half price action, you must do it today. It closes at midnight tonight, New Zealand time. If you have got an order in the system and you're thinking, I placed that order like forever ago, it is coming. I promise you it is coming. We had a team working here all weekend. Claire, Crystal and Heather have been amazing. I'm buying them all lunch this week because they've been amazing. They've worked all through the weekend. They've done huge hours to get these orders out for you. So I do promise you they are definitely coming. But we've had, our typical system gave us a glitch again, which Claire's been working through. So that's just slowed the works up a little bit. But I know that they've through that big hump of that Thursday week ago, and they're now catching up pretty quickly. So just be patient. Remember, yarn doesn't go off. There you go. And on that note, I'll be here with Ethan on Thursday. Until then, you have a great week, and I will see you then. Bye.